A couple of days ago, Mykelti and Tony watched season 19, episode 4 over on their Patreon. Despite being pre-warned that it was a tough episode, you could definitely tell that Mykelti had a hard time listening to all the vitriol that her father was spewing about his kids. At one point, as he was speaking, she exclaimed, "Bullshit." So even Cody's own family members have the same reaction to him as we do. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. We know that Cody's kids are watching the show. After the episode with Logan's wedding, his wife Michelle was commenting on TikTok, setting the record straight about what they did and did not want featured on the show. She said that they never said they couldn't be named. They just really didn't want their wedding mentioned at all. And then, lo and behold, it becomes a major plot line of an entire episode. And Cody has really been singling Maddie out this season as a gossiper and shitster. And after last week's episode, Madison took to her Instagram to throw a little well-deserved shade. She posted this quote to her stories, and it says, "A piece of advice, never re-friend or re-family a person who tried to destroy your character, your integrity, or your relationship with others. A snake only sheds its skin to be a bigger snake. If others fall victim and walk away from you, because of that, let them. Sooner or later, the snake will bite them too." A lot of people took this as a big middle finger to Cody, and maybe that last sentence could be seen as a warning to Robin. I fully believe Cody will destroy his relationship with Robin, and then once it is in tatters, he will blame her for everything, just like he did with the OG3. So I think Madison is saying, hey girl, you're not special. A lot of people asked Mykelti if she had seen Madison's post, and once she got into watching the episode, suddenly it all made sense as to why Madison had posted that. Last week's episode, of course, featured that argument between Robin and Cody, and honestly, I cannot imagine how tough it would be to listen to your own father say such horrific things about you and your siblings. Right off the bat, Mykelti acknowledges Robin's effort to smooth things over between Cody and his kids. She said that this is something that Robin does. She really does encourage relationships. I personally don't really agree based off of past precedent, but Mykelti does say that Tony and Robin have often served as mediators between her and her dad so that conversations are actually possible and productive. So if anyone speaks Cody, I guess Robin gets the closest, according to Mykelti. Mykelti defends Madison here regarding gossiping, saying that what Cody was saying wasn't true. If it was true, she would have a whole lot more gossip in her pocket. And at one point, as Cody was speaking, Mykelti literally called out bullshit on her dad. Mykelti says if Cody took more accountability in his actions, more of his kids, maybe not all of them, but certainly more of them, would reach out. And Mykelti has had to tell her dad, look, I needed X, Y, and Z from you, and instead you did this other thing and then blamed someone else. She has actually gone to him about specific incidents, and she says that he will take some accountability, but he always ends up pointing blame. Mykelti tells us that what she needed, and most likely what all of her siblings needed, was for him to just not place any blame. It's like, say I'm sorry, period, not I'm sorry, but ... She said she can understand why everyone is frustrated, and she understands why Madison snapped after watching that scene. And then Tony comments on the situation, and he gave his feedback that Cody is treating his adult children more like adult contemporaries, but he doesn't appreciate the fact that his children are human beings and they're still his kids. And it was interesting to me that Tony specifically called Mykelti and her siblings human beings. Like, he pointed that out, because I do think that Cody has divorced his ex-wives and his children from their humanity. They are no longer human beings to him. They are adversaries. Tony and Mykelti both appreciated Robin in this scene. Tony says that he can tell there's a lot of love there on Robin's part, and Tony said that he doesn't see love on Cody's part. And Mykelti actually called her dad spiteful. Mykelti says that no matter what happens with her kids, she will always sit outside the door, do what she needs to do to mend that relationship. Honestly, it's just really sad that she had to watch this. At this point, the show has been on for 14 years. So, I mean, the damage has been done. But I think this should be an opportunity for all of the family members to reflect on if this is healthy for their family. I mean, finding out months after a disagreement what people said about you, specifically your own father, that just brings everything up all over again. And it's like you can never move on. This is not healthy. And it's like if it's the Real Housewives and the stakes are really low, then cool. But this is an actual family. And it seems like Cody saves his feelings for content for the show. And he doesn't actually have conversations in private with any of his family members. Mykelti actually said, sometimes you just have to take the knife in the kidney. And that made me giggle. I was like, well played, Mykelti. Then she takes a huge issue with the fact that he blanket statements his kids. And she wants to make it clear that this is not all of his kids. And it sucks to be one of his kids unilaterally condemned by Cody. Mykelti said she wishes her dad could see that if the majority of his kids have a problem with him being the singular person, he's the common denominator. And regarding all of this being out on the show, Mykelti says she gets that they're documenting their lives, but when you put things out there on the show, there's no taking it back. And Mykelti actually said that she thinks that the show and the fame morphed his personality. And when Mykelti said that, it kind of made me think that maybe Cody overcame his fear of poverty by securing financial stability in the show at the cost of his family. And it's like, is it worth it? To me, it wouldn't be. Mykelti also found it important to point out that he's blanket statementing some young kids, some barely adult kids. So back in 2022, Isabel was only 18. Savannah was 17. Truly was 11, a literal child. So he's blanket statementing his kids who don't even have their frontal lobe developed. And Tony says that what he is seeing is Cody is losing everything. And it's like, dude, you have one family left and you're losing it. Someone in the comments suggested that Tony have a word with Cody, and Tony says he doesn't think that he is in a position or stature where Cody would listen to him. I believe that. I think Cody definitely thinks that he's better than people. It's really sad to me that it's been years since Mykelti has been able to have a productive conversation with her dad on her own without an intermediary. The fact that Cody is so handicapped in his personality that he is unable to take accountability without placing blame means he's just not capable of taking true accountability. Now that Mykelti is a mother herself, it really seems to boggle her mind how Cody can sit there and say these things, lumping all of the kids together when some of his kids have actually left the door cracked open for him. But she absolutely validates Madison shutting that door and locking it. He doesn't deserve to know Madison or her family. And I think Tony made an excellent observation in pointing out that these family members are human beings because Cody does not treat his children or his ex-wives as humans that deserve to be treated with common decency. I'm really sad for Mykelti and any of the kids that watch the show. Unfortunately, a lot of people out there deal with narcissistic and neglectful parents, so that in and of itself, unfortunately, is not unique. But not everyone has to watch it play out on national television, so my heart really does go out to Cody's kids. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check out my second channel, Sarah Spills. A link for that will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, X, and TikTok at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.